Hello everyone. In this video we're going to learn how to use that screenshot picture of 3D drawing that we took in the previous section and import that into SolidWorks onto a sketch plane so we can draw on it using the sketch picture function that's built into SolidWorks. Once again, the first thing we're going to do is analyze the picture. With experience, you'll eventually figure out ways, what is the simplest way to make this part with the least amount of moves. It's kind of like playing a chess game. I could easily build it off the front, the right side, or the top, but it seems like if I build it off the front, it's going to take at least 3 moves. I'll trace over all these components, extrude backwards, and then I'd come to the top plane, and I have to actually then cut downwards, cut these components out, which is not that bad, but I have more features in the top view, whereas the right side is the same thing. I have to extrude it out, actually do at least 3 functions here. So the best one I see is on the top view. If we were to actually trace out the top view, extrude down, I could rotate to the back view over here and just draw this vertical component and extrude out this way. That would limit ours to 2 moves or 2 extrusions. Now that I've determined that I want to build everything off of the top view, well, we'll import the picture and then we'll go from there. One thing I want to take notes about this picture, here in the right view, I've been using this, I just picked a random simple part of some of the drawing files I could find, and I realized that this is drawn incorrectly. You notice down here, this is the right view, so it's looking at the back side over here. This should be a hidden line, and it's not. So it's always good to double check your drawings to make sure that they're actually represented correctly the way they should be. This one has a mistake here, but since I did a lot of these screenshots already, we're going to keep this one and just take notes that that is supposed to be a hidden line. Alright, the first step is let's open up a new part file in SolidWorks. Some of the things you should notice when we're looking at our drawing, it's actually in imperial form, inches. You probably want to change your units to inches initially. And good practice is save your drawing, or save your part. Figure out where you're saving it. Let's see here. Simple CAD. I'm just going to save it in Simple CAD. Name it what you want. It's going to be bracket 2. It's always good practice to always initially open up your drawing or your part, whatever you're making, save it instantly, because your computer could crash and you could lose all your work. And plus, I've noticed myself, if I start drawing or creating an object, I'll get near the end and then finally realize, oh, I gotta save this. And by then, if your computer crashes near when you're almost complete, you lose all that work. So, one thing you have to do in order for the sketch picture function to work, you actually have to start a sketch. So, open up your sketch function. Now, remember we picked the top view, so I want to pick the top plane. This way, when I actually sketch on the top plane and I sketch outwards, the part that I'm making, bracket 2 here, will actually be in the same orientation as the 3D drawing that we're going to import. Next thing we're going to do, go up here to Tools, Sketch Tools, and all the way down here at the bottom is Sketch Picture. Select Sketch Picture. Then you have to find where you saved your picture file, or bracket 2. Mine's conveniently right here located. You open it up. Sometimes it might take a little bit of time, depending on how large the file is. If you have a high resolution monitor, like a 4K monitor, you take a really high resolution. SolidWorks asks if you want to have a lower high resolution. You pick high resolution, it could take up to 10 or more seconds for an import, but I'm pretty sure this one's low resolution, so it pops in. Now you can zoom out. Oops, opposite direction. Zoom out. It puts your picture, the origin, lower left corner, the origin. Now remember, we chose the top version, the top portion here, to be what we're going to work off of. So I want to make it myself easier. I'm going to pick this top corner over here on the part to be the origin of the part. So if I pick this, I can move. If you left click once, I can move now the image anywhere I want. I'm going to zoom out, zoom in, and try to place as close as I can, zoom in as far as I can, and get that origin right at the center lines. So yeah, here I'm pointing at the screen, you guys can't see that. But see, I'm hovering right around here. That looks about the center line of the horizontal and the center line of the vertical line. So left click once, and that should put in place. Zoom out again. The reason why you want to put it as close to the center line, both vertically and horizontally, let's say I had a sketch here and I didn't have all these dimensions. I had maybe just one, the 3 down here. So if that's all I had, I better make sure that when I scale this picture, where this line I make 3, everything else should fall into place. So the closer you get, the better off you are. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the actual scale picture. This little blue line here, if you click to the left of it, the little dot, one click, you can move it around. You do one click, you move it around, I can zoom out and zoom in. This way, you can get it accurately. But since we put our origin at the upper left corner, I don't have to zoom in that much, because if I get anywhere near that, it'll snap to the origin. Now it placed it perfectly. Left click places it down, I'm snapped to the origin. Now I use a scrolling wheel, I can get out again. Now we want to scale it to the right side. Here's what I call the scale arrow. If you left click once on that and let go, you can drag it. The left side stays fixed, and while it's this way, you can use your scrolling wheel to actually zoom in again. So the same way we were going to place the origin on the picture, if I zoom in and keep zooming in, I can guesstimate exactly where the center of this one. Since we fixed the origin pretty much to the center of the horizontal line, see how when it goes horizontal, it's pretty much right in the middle already. So only thing I have to worry about is actually fixing this to the center of the vertical line, which if you look at between here, I got light gray, dark gray, black, dark gray, light gray, light gray. So the line is going to be right about in the middle here. So go horizontal and stop right in the middle. And once you click, it brings up what the picture is actually scaled at right now. Right now it's scaled at 17 inches. A little more than 17 inches. We want that to be 3. So the easy thing to do is type in your 3. Hit the modify button here. Now when I zoom out, this line scaled the entire picture to be about 3 inches long. We don't want to click out yet. There's one more trick we want to do, the transparency. There's one problem with the picture is, if I were to actually rotate this, if I start drawing on this, when I go to the back side, the picture is actually still shown white. So when you sketch on one side, or if I extrude up this way, our model, I wouldn't be able to see it if I'm looking at it from the bottom. So one thing we do is go over here to transparency, select the user defined. And this is much like if you're using Microsoft Word or PowerPoint or any type of photo editing software. You select this little eyedropper. Oops, select it. Come over here, select anywhere on the white background of the picture. It transforms this into the white. Then come down to the transparency selector here. Scroll to the right, and you'll notice the background now is clear. So if I were to actually rotate this again and look from the back side, I can see right through it. So if I were to actually build my object straight up and then I rotate the back side, I'll see the object. I won't see a big white sheet of paper. Once we're done with this, we are ready to sketch. And remember, we are still in the sketch function. So when you click exit the sketch here, it's okay. We're still in sketch function. So now we can move on to the next section where we'll learn how to sketch on this object.